Schedule a free design consultation, and the more you buy, the more you'll save on blinds, shades, shutters, and more from Budget Blinds. Visit budgetblinds.com today.
And Aaron joins us on Desk for Sports, and playoff hockey has taken over the border city for the past few weeks, and now there's another team joining in on the fun.
You know what I always say? Well, I'm going to actually sing it. It's the most wonderful time of his face. He's not out.
Well, we've lost half our viewers right now.
Yeah, I'm not a singer at all. I will not. I will stop singing and I will start reading. The AJHL playoffs are underway, and of course, Lloydminster Bobcats, they are going to open up their best-of-5 series at home against the Whitecourt Wolverines tonight. Claire Hanna has more on what you can expect in this series.
I'm here with some of our local AJHL hockey insiders. I'm joined by Brett Morton, who's an AJHL official, as well as does color commentary for the Lloydminster Bobcats. And of course, Andrew Brethauer, the sports editor for the Lloyd Source. In the meetings this year between the Whitecourt Wolverines and the Bobcats, it's 3-3-1. But in their most recent 4 meetings, the Bobcats have only won 1 game. Who do you think is going to take this series, Brett?
I think Whitecourt's got them. I think the Bobcats haven't played a consistent 60-minute hockey game all season. I think Whitecourt is just, they've been rolling since the beginning of the new year, and I think they're going to continue it on throughout the playoffs, and I think they're going to beat the Bobcats in 5 games.
So you're saying Whitecourt. What do you think, Andrew?
I'm going to go with the Bobcats in 5. I think last year was a good, what happened last year may happen again. You spoke about consistency. It's kind of the same thing. I'm going to go with they haven't had consistent scoring. If scoring shows up, they win. If it doesn't show up, they don't win. Same with goaltending. It's all about consistency when it comes to the playoffs, and they have to put everything together, and they haven't all season.
Now, you talk about goaltending. Devin Green, the only player on the Bobcats who's 20 years old. He's been there before, as well as Taylor Mulder, Patrick Geary, Austin Yaremchuk. Do you think that is going to play a factor? Because they did play Whitecourt last year, first round of playoffs. What do you think, Andrew?
It's going to make a huge impact. Also, Devin Green last year was on the bench for the first part of the playoffs. So, he didn't have the experience of playing Whitecourt. He didn't get 1 or 2 games for when Christopher Ty was sick. A lot goes on what Devin Green's going to do. If Devin Green can show up and play the 7 shutouts goalie he's done all season, Bobcats, again, I think will take a series. But if he doesn't show up, this could be over and done pretty quickly.
Now, Brett, what do you think about that core group?
I think that core group has to stay strong, and those leaders have to become leaders to make sure that these young kids on this team can stay focused, continue playing their game, because if these kids get out, lose the mindset, I think they're going to unravel quickly, and I think the Bobcats are going to be done.
Now, Brett, you're an official, so you get to see things that we as broadcasters and the fans can't see because you're on that ice level. Is there anything you've noticed when you've been refereeing these 2 teams that might have an edge in the series?
No, definitely. You see players out there like Geary, Mulder, like you named those leaders on the team. They'll go out on the ice. If something happens on a shift, hey, a D-man's covering me here, goalie's watching the pass, not taking a shot, he's going to go on the bench and he's going to tell those young kids, hey, if you're on a 2-on-1, maybe take a shot, hit it off the pad, look and see what the goalie's doing. Go off the bench type thing, make sure that those kids know what's going on. And you got like Austin Yaremchuk. He's the type of guy, he might not put up the points, but he's a guy that goes out there and he gets in the head. Same with Ashton Clark. Those guys need to play their game.
Well, thank you guys very much. It should be a very exciting series. We'll have to see what happens.
All right, well, it was brought to my attention that I possibly said Lloydminster, I think, coming in there. Bart was mentioning it. We might have to go back to the tape. I definitely know it's Lloydminster. Let's just clarify that. Anyways, speaking of Lloydminster Bobcats, there is another player who has stepped up his game just in time for the postseason. Now, Taylor Allan has exploded offensively in the last 10 games, scoring 11 points, including a hat trick last weekend. Now, he also had 3 three-point games in that span. Now, to compare, in his first 15 games with the Cats, he only had 6 points. Now, the Calgary native credits his teammates and his coaches for his turnaround.
Coming in from Prince George, I didn't have a ton of confidence. I mean, I wasn't playing a lot there, and I went through my struggles leaving there and stuff, some personal issues, and coming here, the coaches just believed in me again and gave me every opportunity to get back to where I needed to be.
He's strong on the puck. He sees the ice so well. A very good stick in front of the net, and he's a guy that we just had to convince when he came in that he's got to believe in himself.
Now, regarding that hat trick last December, in our Beyond the Boards feature, we asked Taylor Allan what his New Year's resolution was.
Like on the ice, I want to try and score more and bury the puck more than I have.
All right, so can we possibly say maybe in the new year we're hoping to see a hat trick from Taylor Allan?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yes, he called it. I will only take 10% of the credit for that. Anyways, no, good job for him. And of course, puck drop for that one, 7:30 tonight at the Civic Center. We have more AJHL action. The Bonnyville Pontiacs, who finished 3rd in the division, the North Division, just 1 point back of the Bobcats. They are hosting Drayton Valley Thunder. The regular season series was tied 3-3. Now puck drop for that one, 7:30 at the RJ Lalonde Arena. Well, the Baker Hughes Bobcats were in must-win mode last night in Edmonton. The road teams have been the most successful this series, and the Cats hoped that trend would continue against the SSAC Athletics. Now, they were trying to force a Game 5. Bobcats get off to the right paw. It'll be Zane Franklin scoring on a rebound. It's 1-0 for Baker Hughes. Now, same score in the second. James Hamlin, he will come flying into the zone. Then roofs one great play, and the Athletics are even 1-1. Now, to the third stretch pass for Ryan Shetler, and he will snap one home. That's the go-ahead goal. 2-1 Lloyd, but back come the Athletics again. A little nifty stick handling from Scott Punger, and then he rips it upstairs. So we're all tied up at 2-2 until 2 minutes left. Bobcats power play, and Ben Lafferman sneaks down low, scores the game winner. Yes, Lloyd wins 3-2, forcing a Game 5. And that game will be played tomorrow night at the Service Sports Center. Now, continuing with playoff hockey, the Lloydminster Bandits are having a hard time with the Wainwright Bisons in their series. Now, before last night's tilt, they were down 2-0 in their series. They had also been outscored 14-6. They had a 7-1 and a 7-5 loss. And again, the number 7 would haunt them. Bisons take a stranglehold on their series with the 7-0 win. Cody Bird and Ambrose Furcus each with 4 points. They notched a goal and 3 assists each. Now the Bandits have a must-win game this Saturday at the Civic Center. Well, provincial hoops action for the Lakeland Rustlers has the men's team in Fort McMurray and the women's team in Edmonton. And of course, winner of this tournament will move on to nationals. Now, both teams were in action this afternoon. We will begin with the women's team. They entered with the best record in the North, taking on St. Mary's College. And well, it makes you wonder what was said during the halftime as the women went on a 22-6 run in the third quarter. They take their first game 66-56. Mariah Van Hoft finished with 15 points, while Camille McCurley had 14. They are back in action tomorrow afternoon, taking on SAIT. Meanwhile, the men's team opened up with a loss, 79-63 for Lethbridge, and they too are also in action tomorrow. They will be taking on Nate. Well, while the women, of course, tipped on earlier today, the men, or rather, they both played this afternoon. How about that? Okay, so last night the ACAC held its awards, and several Rustlers players and a coach were honored. Now, over on the women's side, Jenny Tonita was named the North Rookie of the Year, finishing the season averaging over 8 points per game, while Amber Irvine and Camille McCurley were named to the All-Conference All-Stars first team. Also, Chris King walked away with the North Coach of the Year after leading his team to the best record in the program's history. Now, over on the men's side, you have Stephen Jones. He earned himself a spot on the All-Conference All-Stars first team, finishing in the top 5 in scoring for the North, while Josh McPante is the North Rookie of the Year, averaging 11 points per game and 3.5 assists per game. All right, well, it's been a whirlwind month of sports in February. The Super Bowl was handed out. McDavid continued to light the lamp. Playoffs hockey was dominating some of the border city. And, well, the man named Gronk continued to make us smile. Here are your plays of the month for February.